they said I got style.
I won't do it for the gram. I never mind no man. At my 2020, whoa, whoa. Woke up to deposits and it's only 8 a.m. Do it for the fam, I don't do it for the gram. Do it for my daughters, do it for my little man. That's my 2020, reason why I win. Lot of missed calls, looking bloody in my call log. I bet to myself, I'm not sorry that I logged dog. Check my mental health, I was feeling like a lost dog. Bounce back and wipe my paws off. Get it off the humble and I stick to what I know. Nights on top of nights, long nights took a toll. Took some steps back, but I still get up and I go. And now you know, I'ma make some and I'ma spend it, yeah. New Jeep, no doors with it, no. I won't stop now, who you kidding? Every day I wake up, I'ma send it, I'ma send it, I'ma send it. Every day I wake up, I'ma send it, I'ma make some and I'ma spend it, Every day I wake up, I'ma send it. Pressure on me daily, got the family on my back. Dreams are getting bigger, put the city on my map. World inside my palm, but I'll try not to get attached. Moment that it's here, could be over just like that. Fast car, no NASCAR. I was never working hard, I guess I'm mad smart. Top speed like a rocket, it was blast off. 6 figures from my couch without a mask on. Waited for my cycle like a laundry mat. Going to the moon, it's on top and that. 2 straight years of dropping back to back. Epidemic jumping like an acrobat. I'ma make some and I'ma spend it, yeah. New Jeep, no doors with it, no. I won't stop now, who you kidding? Every day I wake up, I'ma send it, I'ma send it, I'ma send it. Every day I wake up, I'ma send it, I'ma make some and I'ma spend it, Every day I wake up, I'ma send it.
Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in.
I'm on my job, I get it done, but you should know that. Shine like a sun of 101, you should know that. I get the front and in the back, you should know that. No need to stun, it's never cap, you should know that. All I know, 10 toes, never fold. Bang roll, on the go. Ice swole, ice swole, ice swole.
Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in.
I miss my baby, so I hit them on the FaceTime. I need it all for them, so no, I cannot waste time. Facing these oceans, feel the water on my waistline. We trust the process and I only know it takes time. You can get it, got no worries, I'm gon' make mine. Going global, I'ma get it out the state lines. Paying taxes at a more than what you make now. Different bracket, eating off a different plate
Came
now.
for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in.
Good morning all. Yes sir, hope everyone is good, hope everyone is well. We are back. Let's go. Thank you all. Hope everyone's been good. And yeah, let's get straight into it. See what's going on. And catch up with what the market's been doing. Is this live on YouTube? It's live on Zoom. Live on Zoom for you. YouTube is there as well. But they don't see cameras and stuff. And they have a little bit of delay. So let's get into it. Have a look at the news. How's your vacation? Was good actually. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Had a good time. Back from your trip? No. I'm still in. Where am I now? Cambodia. Traveling in the Far East. Limited internet connection. YouTube cam out to focus. Fix. It's weird. I don't know what's happening with it. Let's shut it down. Shut it down and restart it. Bye. See if this fixes. You have same room in Cambodia? Yeah, I duplicated it. Let's see if this works. Looks focused to me. So let's start off with news. I think we have mainly GBP news this week. So today is Monday, JPY bank holiday. And then we're pretty much clean. For the whole day here. Nothing really much for US session as well. Yeah, basically all clean. Now we have Bailey speaking tomorrow 1:15 p.m. So not during London, luckily. So after, then we have Powell speaking as well in mid New York. Now, PMI day on Thursday. Retail sales on Friday. Now, a little bit less USD news. I'd say only tomorrow we have Bailey and Powell speaking. They must be speaking in probably same conference. No, he's speaking in Washington. Large banks. Yeah, I don't know how big of a talk, but it's going to be interesting because Trump wants to fire Powell. So I wonder if people are going to ask him questions about that. So let's have a look at the analysis here. And yeah, let's have a look from the weekly time frame. So weekly time frame, we're closing bearish on gold here. We're not rejecting anything on weekly, but we're in mid-range. So gold is just flagged out for summer, coming into a ranging area, which is normal after such a rally. So now we're in the middle of that range. Moving on to daily, we can see some bullish candle closures, but again, we're in the middle of the range. Now, the middle of the range is always a decision point. It's where price either chooses to go up or to go down, obviously, because it's the middle of the range. So let's bring in this daily resistance here, which is a previous one, DR. Let's clone this as well. Bring this down here as well. So it looks something like this. And let's move on to the 4-hour time frame here. So previous daily closing bullish here, previous 4-hour closing bullish. So it is a bullish bias session. We do have some nice clean candles on the 4-hour there. We have this daily resistance that I am sure it will be some sort of resistance on lower time frame. So this is clean on 1 hour till here. I'm just going to put a line here. 30-minute also has a resistance there, and 15-minute as well. So we're just going to put this as 1 hour resistance. And then we're pretty much clean. We have this wick to fill here as well, but no structure here. We've rallied this morning towards the upside. So we kind of have two options. We either hover at this 4-hour resistance and take a breakout trade back up, or we actually pull back, retest this zone, and look to get that continuation with bullish bias here. Mid-range kind of sucks because it needs to make a decision mid-range. But we are bullish bias session today. If we can start to get above that 4-hour would be good, but we need pullbacks Very heavy rally this has been. Look at the 5-minute. Very, it's not overextended, but it's definitely extended. And yeah, I would love to see pullbacks. I would love to see pullbacks. Would be something good. Now, looking at DAX here on the other hand, starting on weekly time frame, DAX closing bearish here, stuck at this weekly resistance here. We can bring this weekly resistance back. It's actually created a new weekly resistance, and I'll show you that, which is a tiny one, but I'm gonna see what it is on lower time frames. But this is technically a weekly resistance. Daily time frame closing bearish, okay, and 4-hour time frame closing bearish as well. But this is an interesting bearish close. So this is where, yeah, this is an interesting one. So this is where I'd actually be okay to take buys. Why? Because we are seeing heavy rejection from a previous 4-hour support. We're seeing a support being created. We see price retest that support for the second time, reject, and if you go on lower time frame, this will be like 3 lows being made, right? Well, 2 lows, 2 major lows being made, another higher low here. So I really feel if we start to break out of this range, this would be an accumulation and we get some sort of distribution. That isn't to say that this doesn't end up doing this. That's definitely possible, and it can even reject here. But I would consider that, just based off that, to look for buys. And then what it ends up looking like is it ends up looking like you have this setup 3 on the 4-hour. Because if you imagine this candle flipped, you can start to imagine how the candle looks a little bit different here. And you can imagine, okay, now it starts to look like this. Especially once this closes like this, yeah, then buys look a lot clearer. But we can kind of forecast that type of candle there. And today will allow me to kind of trade counter bias here. So let's go ahead and mark that resistance. See if it's the same on 15. A little bit higher on 15. So buys would be above there for me. Now sells is interesting because there could be a possibility to sell with the bias, but a lot of rejections. Let's see here for our support. 1 hour is a bit lower, 30-minute is lower, 15 is lower. Okay, that lines up quite nicely. So there is an option to sell down back into this 15 here. That can work. See what lower time frame is saying. Yeah, so below here, I would consider that as an option. Pretty damn simple. So inside of here, we don't really want to be trading. Above here is a little bit tight. Depends on how it forms. We have to watch what price does here. Then we can take it from there. I'm not really seeing too much happening at this weekly resistance. I probably will remove it at some time during the week as we start to cross through it more than once. But anyhow, it's too tight. From here to here is a very tight spot. From here to here is very tight. It's not really going to be. But above there is where it becomes clear. And we start to see at least to retest into this a 24 pip range, which is nice to see, right? 24 pip range is nice to see. And something a little bit more decent to trade with. Same thing for the downside. Let's make sure it's 4-hour sports accurate. On the downside movement here, we can have potential sells below here. If this starts to get weak in here and start to break down, we can sell below there. Now, quick look at GJ, because GJ was very interesting. I was speaking yesterday with the guys in the webinar about GJ. If GJ breaks out, it can have a very nice move here. Although GJ's been quite dead, this could be its chance. As long as it doesn't create a resistance here. If this 4-hour closed above would be good, but daily opened on a gap. 4-hour has created a support. So technically we could try to be a little bit sneaky and buy from here back up. It does get risky because we're still stuck in this silly range here. So I really prefer for it just to get above 199.809 and then trade that big breakout. You know, instead of trying to play with it in this range, which is not the most, it's not like, this is by the way a gap. This is not a candle. If you check this on broker, most likely you have a gap unless your broker fills gaps. But this is not the most cleanest range to be like, yeah, let's go trade straight through this easy towards the upside. So honestly, with this, you know, I would just prefer to trade the big breakout. JPY bank holiday won't affect the session. I've always traded during JPY bank holiday, but I'm just doing the analysis because it's the beginning of the week. So I'm just analyzing the beginning of the week, if that makes sense. I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to trade today, but what I'm saying is I'm analyzing for the rest of the week here, because we could have some very interesting movement on GJ if we break out of this big range, because this is something we've been stuck at literally since, I mean, you could even technically call it since back here, which is from July. So then we retested it in, and that's 24, huh? Then we retested. So really, we retested it in October 2024. We retested it in November. We came close to it in December. And 6 months down the line, we're back at it. So if it was to break out of it, I think you could get some pretty juicy movement and pretty intense movement towards the upside. Right? So that is something I would definitely be interested in if that was to happen. If it just ends up failing from here, yeah, we just trade as normal. If it fails from here, you could have some nice downside movement. That's the one other positive thing. So yeah, that's the analysis for today. Let's see what price ends up doing. Let's see how gold starts to react from here. We do have one candle pullback now. Not really the most decent. 1 hour time frame is still moving like a train here. I'd prefer to see a little bit better than a one candle pullback. But we still have 12 minutes to this candle. So let's see how this candle forms in 12 minutes. Wonder if this has a bottom wick on broker. Let's have a look. Yeah, it does have bottom wick on broker. So I think it would just be based on the volume we have here if we were to take continuation trades. At least we have a 30-minute one candle bearish, which is nice. So let's see what happens. Let's see what the market brings for us today, and then we take it from there. If you guys enjoyed the analysis, you know the drill. Leave a like. Welcome back stream here. And let's get back into the swing of things. Get the likes up to 150. Would appreciate it. 200 of us in here. Appreciate everyone showing up. Nice to see you guys again. And let's get back in action here. Have some big plans. Some exciting things on the way. And yeah, let's get it. Welcome back, H. Looks like your holiday was amazing. Thank you. Yes, it was good. Been a long time since I traveled. 6 years since I've been away. So it was nice to go and travel again. You mark daily. You daily mark support and resistance lines. Yes. Did you take any trades previous week? Yeah, I took one trade. I took a gold sell. Got close to a 1-to-1, but I wanted a little bit more, so I just held it. Hey Harry, when you first started, did you struggle with psychology of execution? If so, how did you overcome it? I got a 50k evaluation. I'm struggling with the psychology these last 2 weeks. Execution, you mean taking trades? It's normal to have, I mean, as a trader, it's a psychological battle a lot of the time. It is a psychological battle a lot of the time. But the main thing here is going to be lack of confidence. I think experience and being able to be part of somewhere where you can receive feedback and see others pushing towards the same goal is going to just build you confidence to execute on actions. And sometimes that takes a little bit of work, right? You need to go and practice behind doors, make sure that you're replicating setups again and again and again, because we need to follow the same formula that people do to become professional athletes. And what do? They all practice. That's how they get good at something. You never see a professional football player just play matches and not do anything between. He spent his whole childhood playing. He spent his whole teenage years practicing to become the best. So to sit here and think that as a trader, you can do nothing and just watch a YouTube video and understand it in your head but not see it in action is absolutely nuts to see if you would see any success. Correct, I've seen my setups play out again and again. Yeah, I mean, the most common mistake I used to make was I would watch my setups play out, which would build me confidence, and then I would FOMO into the next move, which would be really bad, right? This would be something that I made a massive mistake doing. Do you recommend backtesting? Yes, backtesting was a massive part of my my journey, massive part. And like even before, and that's the whole reason we built the backtesting software, because of how big of a part of my journey. Like if you scroll back into old videos, you can see like that was a big part of my trading. Like even 4 years ago, when we start to get into some of these videos, let's just see when I posted my first backtesting. Yeah, like 3 years ago. 3 years ago, obviously this is not my backtesting software, but it was a big part of my, like, obviously if I'm posting a video on it, means that I've been backtesting even before that. And you can see like this is crazy. So even well before it has been a big part. On 5 minute, the buys won't be till above this resistance here. This is a 5 minute resistance. But for 5 minute buys, we need to see a little bit of structure. I joined Pip Labs account, but I don't know how to understand to open a Pip Labs simulator chart. Pretty simple, man. You just press start simulation. There's a button and you just press that button. Have you paid or are you a free member? Because if you're a free member, you just press try for free. I mean, I can show you quickly just so you see it. It's very, very straightforward to open a chart. You literally just press, when you're logged in, you can either press simulator or start now. These two buttons. It's very simple. Hopefully you can figure that out. Hi, I'm new to backtesting and I have 4-hour candles, 2-hour. Yeah, it's the same as the brokers here. You see how brokers here have different time frame candles? Look what time this 4-hour candle opens at, 9 a.m. And look what time frame, actually no, this one here. This one opens at 5 a.m. and then these ones, they're all different time frames. This one here opens at 6 a.m. This one opens at 9 a.m. So it's just how broker discrepancies are, plus daylight savings. So all you do is you focus on the session. The 4-hour candles will be the exact same. And don't use the time on the bottom, use the time on the right hand side. Welcome back. Thank you, bro. Last month I focused on backtest, built a system, then I did demo account, focus on journal and entry. I want to buy a prop firm. What's your advice? Yeah, what's your results, man? Seems like you put in some work. You can put in another month of demo trading and then you can take a prop firm. Or I'd recommend you open a demo account on your prop firm. So do I mark support and resistance as I would normally? Yep, you mark it exactly the same. It's all the same. It's just a time. Just use the clock. The clock is all accurate on the right hand side. Love to see like this 5-minute candle close bearish just to create some structure, because the last pullback we had is all the way around 37 points away. So technically, based on price action, until we break this structure down here, it's not technically gonna flip to bearish. Even if price starts to close back in the range, like literally right now, price could come back, retest here, even retest here technically and still end up finding its way later towards the upside. But if you're taking positions from up here, you're going to be stopped out if it comes down there. So the way we can avoid that is to get either very steep bottom wicks to prove to us that price has gone down first, grabbing liquidity at least from this previous 15, or we can wait for 5-minute structure, which is the one I'm preferring, but we'll see in 3 minutes here. It's looking like it's trying to do it, but we don't know yet. We'll see what happens at this little resistance here as well. Is that the same on 5, or is 5 a little lower? Yeah, it's the same. We also have one where price is rejecting from. One what? Resistance. Let me see on broker, because sometimes broker can be different. So one thing I love to do now is just always double check broker. It looks clean on broker. Double check the other time frames as well. 30 looks fine. 15 looks fine. Yeah, today they're pretty lined up. This one, yeah, but we've crossed through it just now. Just now we've crossed through it. So we would not be entering at it. If anything, you're entering break of high, so you're going to be above it. If it's going to reject it, it should do it now. But I really prefer this 5-minute structure. That was looking good. Hopefully it can close bearish. It's better for us. We want something to prove to us that we're creating structure. Like, I'm even contemplating, is one 5-minute candle gonna be enough here? Like, you know, we have to think about that. Is one 5-minute candle gonna be enough right now? What do you guys think about increasing risk just to clear phase 1? I'm short of 2% to pass. Worst idea. That's just desperation. You're only 2% to pass, man. Let that take as long as it needs to take. You've done the majority of the work is done. If you're only 2% to pass, first of all, good work. But why push it now? If you lose 2 trades, you're down 4%. You see? If you lose 2 trades with 1%, you're only down 2%. It's like super easy, super calm. Like, the only time you use higher risk on a funded challenge is when you're confident in your trading and you're just trying to pass it, get from point A to point B. But you accept the risk that if you take a couple of losses, it's going to be game over. All right, so this is closing above here. The problem I have here is stop loss has to go below 15. We have no 5-minute setup because there's no structure on 5. So it doesn't make sense risk to reward wise. We have a 37-point stop. First target is 9 points. And let's say a max target all the way up here does make sense, but we're having nothing. And now we're looking like we want to close with no top wick here as well, making it even worse. And the stop loss has got bigger, plus no 5-minute. Yeah, there's your no top wick. Looked like it wanted to do that. Same thing on broker. When you have no top wick like that and open no bottom wick, it's a little bit of a disaster for trying to buy, especially no 5-minute structure. And this starts to break rules now. You start to turn into a FOMO trader instead of a logical trader. So what I would love to see is some sort of 5-minute structure and then close above the range. The good thing is we can even look for buys above 24,260. So even if price wants to come retest that 25,260, reject, and then close above, we can take buys above that and look to continue up like this. There's some options there. There's some options. Even we can buy to that still, but depends on how price action forms now. Isn't it bearish bias? It is bearish bias, but I'm seeing it more as mixed because of the analysis I did at the beginning of the stream. See what gold did. Gold, I think, closed below. Yeah, that's nice, though, to create structure like this. The more structure we create, the better. I prefer this, especially after the push we had up. But now we would want to close above to take buys. It could blast through as well. That is definitely possible. But we can't take a blast. The reason we can't take the blast through is because we have no 1 hour close above the 4 hour. We have no 30-minute close above the 4 hour. We have no 15-minute close above the 4 hour. That is a little bit of gambling, right? Harry, you picked nice week for vacation. Market was cooked last week. No setups. The guys took a nice gold buy on Monday last week. I think that was the setup of the week. That was something that moved very nicely. I'll show you it. Where's Monday last week? I've gone way too far. Monday, Tuesday. This buy here. These buys here were very nice. So they took it like break of these highs, which was a setup on the 30-minute. But this was a very nice trade, something like this. So this was a good position last week. Nice LTA. This actually came Monday as well. Nice pullback in Asian session. Good accumulation during the end of Asian session. And then that continuation up. So I think if you're looking at nice setups for the week, that was a decent option. Otherwise, yeah, the rest was pretty slow. If you're trading GJ last week, you were definitely cooked in GJ. Whoever traded GJ last week was cooked. Because last week, look at this. This is some really tough price action during London. Like this is some really boring price action. London trading session, please confirm. Have to check 50-minute candle before session open or after session open. Before or after doesn't matter. London you can trade before or after. It's not like New York Stock Exchange open. Let's catch up on what DAX is doing. Yep, that's nice. Creating some structure finally. It needs it. It really needs it. So finally we have one bearish 5-minute candle close here. It needs it. As a range trader, it's not bad. The problem on GJ is spreads are not that good these days with the type of ranges we had. Like 0.5 pip spread kind of sucks for such small ranges we have on GJ. Like last week I'm talking about. Because like this move here, it's like 12 pips. It's a really shitty move. All the way down there is 12 pips. I mean, now it looks like it's waking up after this big gap. I wonder what caused the big gap, though. I want to check that out. How long till this candle closes? 9 minutes. Okay, we have some time. Nice pullback on DAX here. Like I said, no top wick, no pullbacks, pretty dangerous. We don't know how deep this pullback can come, but now we can let it do that. It could simply just retest this 5, but we don't know that before taking the position. Now if we finish these pullbacks and we get a support formed, like a bullish candle, it kind of shows us that we have something good. Not something good, but at least some sort of low being put in. What broker do you focus on? Tradingview, thoughts on FXCM? I use forex.com. FXCM, I think 4-hour candles are a little bit weird. We never used to have this problem, but then that problem started on brokers. Is Owanda good? Owanda was my favorite, but again, Tradingview messed up, Owanda messed up a bit, and it's not the same anymore. So what I use myself is on DAX, I'm using forex.com. On Forex pairs, I'm using forex.com. But on gold, I use PYTH now. I used to use Owanda. Owanda is good on gold, just there's gaps. So if you look at the Owanda chart, there's a lot of gaps. Not always, but you will start to find that out soon. See if you like this and like this. Sometimes candles form, especially 4 hours the worst, and daily time frames you have a lot of BS sometimes like this. See how these don't close nicely, like this, see, like this. That's why I didn't like it, but the candles are accurate. We should come back to the retest of the lows on DAX to go higher. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad, man. Wouldn't be bad if we could come back, you know, grab that liquidity and then try a little higher. I wouldn't mind that. Just want to check the resistances on gold here, if they're any different on broker. So this rejection on broker is coming from this. Is it the same here or is this a little bit different? Let's see. Yeah, it's basically there as well. So probably buys above that would be safest. My broker tapped it perfectly though. Yeah, especially with the 5-minute resistance there. Let's see if the next 5-minute can do some business. Get some volume in her and start to close above this little resistance here. Then we can see to fill this wick. In 4 minutes, we need to move how much? 10 pips? Yeah, it's not that much to ask, to be honest. Not that much to ask. I think it's possible with volume. But we also have DAX cooking up a bit here. If this can chill a little bit, 1 minute can go make some structure. Then this will be nice as well. That'll be the 30-minute close as well, so that's cool. Yes, break even is pretty close, but we still have room. 15 would close Let's see, if a 15-minute closes like this, which is bearish, does that close above the 5? No, wow. So the 15 would have to close here for it to close above the 5, and how would the 15 look? So slightly bullish. But I don't notice those being a problem on DAX. On currency pairs, yes. It crossed twice already? Yeah, I just said that it would be safer. Yeah, that's not what I want to see, is a straight push like this. 1 minute, no pullbacks. No bottom wick on 5. Same no bottom wick on gold, but I want to see gold close at least above the 5-minute resistance, because what gold likes to do sometimes is after we've had a big push like this, we have to consider the push, guys. We've come to London and there's been a 170 pip push. So for us to be like, yeah, we have easy range for us, we need some great volume today. If there's no continuation today, it's game over. We need some great volume today for this to work. Yeah, we have this 70 level lurking as well. Yeah, it's not easy for us. Not easy for us in London, because we come to this 170 pip push. I wish we didn't have the 170 pip push. Makes it easier. But how important is 70? We'll see, because 70 hasn't been really... This is one thing about key levels, is that yes, they're important. If we have a little room to trade to it, it's good. But the most important thing is how much have we reacted off it in the past. And if you look at this 70 level, it's basically once here and that's about it. Here's clean, here clean, clean. Like the last, look how many times we passed through clean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times already we passed through clean. And then in the future here, clean, clean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times we passed through. So there's a lot of times we passed through clean. But I hope we have a little room towards it, because I really don't like buying straight at it. $32. 1 hour resistance around 20. It's not bad as a break even. We have this 15-minute resistance here around 8. That's a watch zone. And then daily resistance max target 40. So it's enough to get a 1-to-1. Yeah, I think we're going to need a solid bottom wick for this to work, man. We need that bottom wick to be solid to get the volume to push through that key level. But that key level has not had too much relevance in the past, so I'm not too worried about it. But we still need like a solid bottom wick here. So let's see if we can form a good one. Pretty weak bottom wick at the moment. No 1 minute structure as well. A little bit risky here. I would love to see a bigger bottom wick if I'm going to take this into key level. Will it give us the chance is the question. It's interesting. This is up here, but my broker is still at the high. I don't know if that's the same for you guys, but my broker is at the high. And now it's making a deep bottom wick. Yeah, there we go. Can we get a little bit bigger? Would be nicer. Mine is below the high on broker. On broker, we're below the high. Wait for liquidity formation of bottom wick. Would be better to grab a little liquidity here. You can see it's struggling. We've had a 170 pip push. We're at basically a key level around it. So we need that liquidity. It would be very good here. I mean, it is an option. It is an option to try take a buy straight off the rip here. But there's just a lot of conflicting factors towards that. Especially the push we've had pre-session. I'm asking a lot for price. You know? Not important because we wick through. Well, the goal was to trade to that. That was the goal. Because it's like 8 pips away. But it is important. We still have to consider it as a watch. But even though it wick through, it allows us to hope for the wick fill. But it's still something we have to consider. You know? But it's around 8-7 pips away. So we have to see how it wants to react from there. Hopefully this is the start of a deeper bottom wick here. For your SAT, damn, on broker I have from break of high to that, I have 6 points. No, 6 pips. Six pips I have. I'm just watching it on broker because it's looking different. I wonder if Owanda looks the same. Yeah, this looks better here on FX. What about here? Yeah, Owanda's looking better. Maybe I should use Owanda for today. What markup do I need to bring? The 1 hour and daily resistance. See, this doesn't have a daily resistance here. Five-minute getting weaker now. I do feel like there should be a deeper bottom wick coming. See what Steven's done here. What's this on? GU buy setup 1. Nice one, man. That's a nice buy on GU. That's the bottom wick I want now on gold. If I can get that bottom wick now on gold, it would be solid. But yeah, that's a clean trade. So this is the 15-minute we've tapped, so it looks like it wanted to grab liquidity from that first. And let's see if it now flips, makes that bigger bottom wick, and then we see how to get into the buys. Only bad thing about prop firms is spreads are big on DAX. Depends which prop firm. I mean, how big is your spreads on DAX? I'd say 1.5 points is totally normal. Once you start to get above 2 points, it's problematic. Anything below 2 points is fine. Potential mis-entry a while ago before it went bullish. No, because when we came to the session, right here. It's a very tough spot after we pushed during Asian session. 170 pips in Asian session. So you buying the highs here, not really going to be the best until we get the confirmation. Because we don't want to be the guy who has to get the shitty part of the price action. How are we taking buys? We're at resistance. Now we're at resistance. We weren't at a minute ago. When we were down here, we wanted to trade to get that. So that was the goal, to try get to this point and see what happens. But that's the problem now, is we don't have enough liquidity to push through this little resistance. You know, because it's not there on 30, 1 hour is clean as well. It's just a little 15-minute resistance. We're also crossed through with 2 wicks there at the same time. Now we just need to try. The goal was to grab some liquidity to push through it. If we grabbed liquidity first, I'm sure we could have pushed through it. But the problem is we just look at 5. It's just getting weak. 5 is getting weak. It's struggling. Now we're going to go down to grab liquidity, and we probably end up taking a 5-minute candle close above there. Or it forms a sort of setup 3 here, and then we see what we can do with setup 3. Let's all agree that 99% of people lose money on trading. So why are you all not looking for jobs because this thing is a scam? Then why are you here watching a live stream if you're not interested to learn how to trade properly? 99% fail because of 99% of the information out there is BS. Look at who most of the people are learning from. Look how long they learn for, and they quit. Most people fail because quitting trading is also considered as a failure. And most people quit before they actually make it. It's like trying to become a professional in 3 months. Like, try get a high-paying job in 3 months. Try it. And also, why not trade with a job? Like, that's how you're supposed to do it, by the way. You're not supposed to suddenly quit your job and then try go full-time. You have to become profitable first. This is a hard game, man. You are not playing against easy competition here. You're playing against the top people in the world. And you are going to fail for the majority of people. And that's why not everyone becomes a trader. So you make a choice. You either get your shit together and you actually pursue in this. And I can tell you, a large part of the population, if they actually put their head down, can become a good trader enough to supplement their income. The difficult part is when people quit their job to become a full-time trader and put all pressure on themselves to make a full-time income. And then it doesn't happen because they've not even had the chance to become profitable, and they're already thinking about quitting their job. Check the bottom wick now we're getting, right? So this is good for us, but we wanted this earlier. Like, I did not start trading before I had money. That's the difference. Right? I started in crypto. I made decent money in crypto to live off for, like, I could live off that easily with a happy lifestyle for good 3-4 years, no problem. So I had no stress coming into trading. And even with no stress coming into trading, I still lost for 2 years basically, guys. Come on. I think most people trading have a job. How would you fund the education and account? Yeah, definitely that. That's a valid point. The scary thing is that people, as far as they come into trading, they try it for 2-3 months, they see little results, and then they think they can quit. So they give in their resignation letter, and then it's a big problem, you know, and then stuff doesn't happen and they get stuck. Like, think of trading as an investment, but you have total control of the investment. Like, you don't invest into NASDAQ, right, and expect returns very quick. You expect returns over time. Same thing with trading. Once you do the study period, once you do the period where you're learning, that's why I tell people to stick to one strategy. Once you finish that initial study period, the rest is just experience. And to get experience in the charts, you only need to spend 2 hours at the chart a day. That's it. One session. You don't need more. You'll be able to get an income from that. Look at this pullback, right? This is what we were talking about. We need the liquidity has to come from somewhere. After 170 pip push, guys, where is the liquidity going to come from? It's going to come from the downside here. So us buying the highs here without that big bottom wick, it's not going to be useful, right? Because you could enter and then aggressive break even at the 15 and you could have got out break even. But still, it's a break even trade. Pretty boring. But the scary thing is, what if it never retested the 15 and went for the liquidity grab? That's a lot worse. That's a lot worse if it never retested the 15, because you won't have a chance. Trading is basically like learning other professions. Takes 4 years to get a degree. I don't know why people think they can win in trading in less than a year. Yeah. If you look at daily, you can see it can take liquidity from 377, then drop, keep going up. 395, then drop. My bias is still sell. Big liquidity setting 245. Yeah. I mean, 377. That would be 70 pips, so that's plenty of rage. Agreed, Harry. I spent a lot of time learning all the new info after the first few weeks. Really pinned in my strategy that I am going to use and what I feel works best for me and the least amount of stress. There you go. Just have to get over this psychological hurdle. Yeah, that's why I made one video. This is a clutch video just about psychology. It was a webinar, and I break down into how psychology works scientifically, because if we can understand how the brain works, right, between prefrontal cortex and amygdala, those are your two parts of the brain that come into action when you're actually trading, is your amygdala and your prefrontal cortex. We want to make decisions from our prefrontal cortex. That's normally what we're doing outside of the charts, is we're using our prefrontal cortex. But when we start to trade, we use our amygdala, and that's where the imbalance comes and why we have... I made a webinar in the exclusives about that, and it should help you to comprehend and work on those skills. It's a skill you have to work on. Psychology strength is earned, not given, and it's something that's going to be there for the remainder of your career. Even the top traders in the world, the most experienced traders in the world, still get psychologically affected, but are able to handle it a lot more professionally than a beginner. That's the difference. It's not about getting over your psychology, it's about handling your psychology. Because I still feel FOMO, I still feel annoyed at charts, I still feel frustration, I still feel doubt, I still feel all of that, but I know how to handle it. I know how to say, okay, I feel doubtful about it, but this follows all my rules, so I have to go with it. And I'll go, right? So I can get over it. Even though I feel doubtful, I might feel FOMO to get into this move. But then I handle it by saying, I know I shouldn't be getting into this, so I'm not going to do it. You see? Good close 5-minute S2 on DAX. I doubt you get enough range, you know. Even if it closes here, it's not enough range. You'd be looking for S1 in this situation, but now we're starting to buy higher and higher. We start to need to get more aggressive with management. So it becomes an option. It just becomes an option that is riskier for break even, because we basically, in this type of option, if we get a close above here, if it breaks highs and starts to fail, we need to get out, because 15-minute has a little bit of a rejection candle in my opinion. So I won't really be too happy to just sit in that trade and trust structure, because really it has no objection to retest somewhere down here. It's not really an issue for it to retest down here. Yeah, we have it a little bit higher, the 1 hour resistance. So we'll bring that in as well. That would be our target. Hopefully that's a 1-to-1. Let's have a look. 5-minute close above would be 18 points. Nice. It's enough range. How to become profitable in demo? Well, you need to probably, if you want to do it fast, backtest so that you can actually find a strategy. You need a strategy. You need a strategy. Yesterday, guys, on my YouTube channel, one of my worst performing videos, but it's one of the best videos. It's always the case. Every time I post a good video, people don't like to watch it. But this video, 5 years of trading advice in 4 minutes, is really good to show you the steps to become profitable. It's literally 3 steps. 3 steps I put together of how to become profitable. It's only 4-minute video. Check it out. It literally shows you each step what to do. And these are fundamental steps, right? And I literally start the intro by saying that trading is, it's not a random thing. It's a system of carefully executed things, right? So you guys can watch that 4 minutes and make sure every single one of those steps you're doing. It's just 3 steps. And if you're not even doing one of these steps, it's going to be an issue. We're giving DAX a shot. Yeah, let's see how it closes in 1 minute, how deep. If it can chill here for a little bit. I think it could be a shot here for continuation. And if we see lack of continuation, we just be a little bit aggressive with management here. I think that would be the best way to approach this today. So let's see this DAX close 18 seconds. If it can close above, we would want to see a bottom wick is a must here, because we've pushed already quite a bit. So we need a good bottom wick to grab liquidity. Same on gold, same concept. Then breaking the highest high, I would go and see if we can get a straight push. If no straight push, then I look to manage. Alright, solid bottom wick here. So I'll be giving it a shot here, break of high. Target will be into this next 1 hour resistance, stop loss below the lows. That's pretty much it. This is the type of bottom wick you want to see though, you know? Give you a little bit more confidence. Especially at open, no top wick as well. Helps. So this 1 hour is 14 pips, but it's enough to at least 100% get break even. So hopefully we can push 1 point above it to give us a 1-to-1. If not, then we just close a little bit earlier, which is not the worst thing. If this 5-minute close is bearish here, I'm not going to enter because it's 5 minutes to the open. So I'm expecting this in the next 3 minutes to flip, break the high. I get the continuation for the last 5 minutes, hopefully in profit before the open, so that I can hold. I'll try hold during the open. Could be quite nice if we could get a good push, but I need to see this 5-minute flip now in the next 2 minutes. This closes bearish. I'm waiting till the open. I'm waiting till the open. Do we need another close above? If it closes bearish, do we need another close above? Yes, we would need another close above. Isn't that a previous weekly resistance, the other one? No, the weekly resistance we have is at 306. 1 minute, man. We have to do some action like now. Now we have to do some action. At least it's keeping us safe from any BS. I'm gonna wait 30 seconds before the close because I know sometimes this can just flip last 30 seconds. Yeah, this is looking low volume now, so I'm just gonna delete this order now. Not gonna take the position, no point, because it's looking low volume here. That's it, now we wait. So, kept us safe waiting for the bottom wick. Kept us very safe, so I'm happy about that. Now 15 starting to look like a bit of a rejection, but we'll see the open here. I'm interested in the open. 30-minute wouldn't look too good if it closes like that. It was looking good. Like, look, our entry would be up here and 30-minute was looking nice at that point. It was looking good bullish. Let's go back to gold, see how gold is doing. Yeah, 15 can close above on gold. That would be nice. 4 minutes for the 15 to close above on gold. So let's move this line up here. That's what we look for, a close above here on gold. Would be great. Blue ball by DAX. Protected, I see it as. Protected. Just happy I didn't get into anything stupid on DAX, and then you have to hold this drawdown for no reason because you FOMO. And that's like such a small rule, right? Just to wait for that bottom wick and break of high. Like, that's just 2 factors. Everything else was correct. But those 2 factors saved us. If I didn't wait for that, I'm in trouble. Right? If I just candle close, I press buy, straight, I wouldn't even see blue on my MetaTrader. Straight into drawdown, begging for it to flip. And I know now it seems like a common sense thing to wait for it to flip, to wait for break of high because we do it so much. But to normal people in the market, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be a normal thing because it's such a small detail. Let's see if gold here can have some bullish pressure and close above. 1 hour doesn't look like a bad close if it ends up like this. It's not the best, but would be nice to see if we can get that bullish pressure. Just give me a sec, guys. I'm going to go to the toilet before they open. If this closes above here and we make a bottom wick at the open, it's an option. But it's always tough on the open because it's not always we get a nice open bottom wick and then break the high. But if it does have an open bottom wick and break the high, I'd be interested. But this will happen fast, so you guys have to be kind of on the ball, as I call it. Stop loss is roughly around the same, just a little bit less. I mean, a little bit more. Couple, how many points more? 2 points. Let's see, let's see. Needs to close above though, that is still a rule. 30 doesn't look that bad. 15 doesn't look that bad. Whoa, last 1 second, that's nasty. Okay, that's interesting. That's a very heavy volume open. Nothing you can do with that. But you see the idea, if we get that bottom wick, we could get away in. How did gold close here? Bearish. Let's see how 1 hour closed though. Looks good-ish, but not the best. Market not behaving like a man, waiting for good setups on gold from too long. Yeah, I mean, London has not moved on gold. Literally, the whole London session has just been here. We started London, we're back to where we started. But, you know, we had a 170 pip push. It's just how it is. That's why you guys, you know, have to consider also in times like this, if London's going to be slow, need to open up into your NY trading as well. That's why I always keep NY as my backup session, as I trade more full-time. Now, if you can't trade full-time, not full-time, but trade both sessions, that's not a problem. It just means you have to be extremely patient during these times. Like, it's very important to be very patient, but it could be frustrating and end up forcing you to make bad decisions because you're just trying to get something out of your session when your session is not doing much for you. You see how that analysis I talked about, how even though today's bearish bias, it would look more okay for buys? That's the key about today as well. It's a big lesson to understand that, how I can analyze that. Like, it's about telling the story. Some people really forget about telling the story. Still okay with these gold buys above here. 11 minutes, you know, we just have to wait a little bit. Set up 5 buys. Let's have a look. What is this on? USD JPY, bullish bias. What is this line? 15-minute you didn't mark? My one's a little bit higher, it depends. Depends where we close. Again, I'm trying to push through it. Now we have the liquidity, would be different. I'm hoping we close here and then boom, try push through it. It's very close, yes, but I'm hoping we push through it. If we don't, I get out. It would be boring, yes, super boring. I literally will get in, it will tap it, come back to entry, I'm out. Super boring. But after this double liquidity grab, if we're gonna go up today, it will do it then. If we close at it, we're in trouble again. We're in trouble again. You know, I have to rely on this 30-minute range, 1 hour range here. Because if it was such an important zone, this wick would have come here to grab liquidity from that. The fact that it's grabbing liquidity before it is kind of showing me it's a little bit less strong. It's a 30-minute. Yeah, so you kind of have to do the same thing as what I did, you know? Same thing as what I did, being like, okay, if we can't push through, then that's it. It's looking okay. It's not looking the same, actually. Oh, it's a 5-minute setup 5. No, you want a 15-minute. Good morning, Tutor man. I'm putting trades on demo and not using real account till I'm good at setups. Am I right? Yes, you are right. That is the correct thing to do. That is the correct thing to do. Man driving with his phone? Oh yeah, totally normal. This guy is multitask idiot. Doesn't stop. He needs to have 3 things going on at once. Otherwise, he starts panicking. Music, foot flat on the floor, and phone. 3 important things. I'm also paper trading today, not using real account. I feel kind of off today too. It's a good decision, man. My car drives itself. Yeah, until it tells you to touch the wheel. Where are you going, Tuta, man? I shouldn't ask, actually. Oh. Why is 2 years that being the average time for the majority of traders to get consistency? Yeah, it's weird, man. I think it's experience for me. It seems to be the biggest one. You just need time on charts. As much as you can try, you can teach all the concepts, but you need to have somewhat of experience. It's important to have somewhat of experience. I'm struggling to get indices on demo account. Any suggestions? They should all have it. They should all have it. Bro, he's complaining about Italy's speed cameras. It's not that bad. In Dubai, we have a camera every 100 meters. I came to say hello and check whether Harry survived a week in Italy. Yep, I'm living, man. Still. With the job, it's tough to do day trading if your job collides with market timing. Yeah, but then you can trade a different time. So you can either do that. Most people who have a job, they trade in work. That's the difference. I think all big player joins Trump. Making big money, manipulation of markets are common nowadays. What do you think? No, I think lack of who would do such a thing. Yeah, it's normal. Oh my days. I wish today was mixed bias on gold. If today was mixed bias on gold, we could do some business towards the downside break of structure here. This would be quite nice. Retrace that Asian move up. We haven't had comment of the day in a while. Yeah, everyone's sleeping, man. They need to wake up. Then we can have comment of the day. Seems like everyone is recovering from holiday. Seems like market's recovering from holiday. Summers be slow usually. Historically, yes, but not the past few years. But if you look past 20 years, yes. They are typically slower than, but the last few years have been banging summer months. But then January, February have been way slower than they usually are. So I kind of feel like it's a shift of basically market volume timings. There have been series of weekend events popping out that scared many investors of trading Monday. Yeah, Trump is trying to fire some people. But Asian session had great volume. You know, Asian pushed 170 pips on gold up. This is not gold, but anyways. Didn't have coffee yet. Go enjoy coffee. Last week was crazy for me. I'm taking this week to rest. Oh, what happened last week, man? See you, bro. What time Asian opens? I know in my time. Okay, guys, I'm buying gold now. Everyone sells since it hates me and always does the opposite. Yeah, that seems like a good signal, bro. Appreciate you taking the sacrifice. 15 line fuck you support. What's an FU support resistance line? There you go, guys. There's the comment of the day. We have a new support and resistance called the fuck you support and resistance. There's a new one. Never heard of that. Please, bro, I need you to teach me the FU support and resistance. That is something I need to learn. This new technique, FU support and resistance line. Seems good. Oh, if you. Yes, required. I mean, any 15-minute support is required for me. Was thinking about DAX counter bias, buy earlier, 5-minute close above London open, obviously no entry. What do you think of that? Impossible to enter. Because you just, if you watch, did you watch how it happened? It literally, this candle pushed up last 2 seconds and the next candle just flew. It's like impossible. You'd be slipped up here or something. You know? Zero wins, 5 trades, 5 losers. After you lose 3 in a row, you need to take a break and see what's happening. If you lose 3 in a row in the same week, you need to call it a week. Something's going wrong that week. That's like the hard-coded rule. You lose 3 in a row, take a step back and see what's changed. Right? What's your other sources of income? So crypto, majority one, big one for me was crypto investments that I still continue running. But you know, that I can't rely on. But recently, I mean, I've been lucky enough to have Bitcoin still rally. So with Bitcoin at 120K, obviously the dividends of that is going to be nice, right? Now, the other thing which I have, of course, is this doesn't actually... This action doesn't pay well yet, but it will become a source of income, which is we created a backtesting software. The difference is I'm reinvesting into that, which I feel is a smart idea long term. But we're really reinvesting into that company, trying to make it the best tool for traders out there and something that will actually get people profitable. The reason why is because it will either prove if they're learning from some guru, if they're learning from some mentor who they can't trust, or maybe they think they trust, let them go and prove it works. Also prepare them to trade in the real market. So that would be the thing. Then as well, I do have a private group. In this private group, every single day, we are on Zoom together where they can ask questions. They get access to basically my full course for free. Part of the group, I don't charge extra for a course, and it's a monthly payment of $50. So that's another income source. We also do weekly webinars, a lot of stuff, man, a lot of stuff. So I keep that extremely affordable for what you get. And then in terms of that, I have some long-term investments in NASDAQ, and I have as well some other businesses I do that are not related to trading as well, but those are contract work, meaning you strike a deal, you have a contract, you do work, and then you get paid for that contract. That is in a totally different industry. And then on top of that, I have investments, but at the moment, those investments are real estate. That's an outgoing expense, not an incoming expense. So that's not an income source at the moment. But you know, with the grace of God and time, that will be an income source, of course. So that's what I'm set up on, man. Harry, I know this is, you don't take counter bias, so you take sells. Yeah, man, I like it. I don't know, I like it. It seems to make sense to retrace some of this move, but it's how much balls do I have to take counter bias today, you know? How much do I trust counter bias on a day like today? Why am I convinced? I mean, higher time frame, middle of the range, we're at a great spot to sell. Right, let me show you this line chart. It's a great spot to sell. Our biggest highs are found from this mid-range. Okay, a lot of highs being found from here. So to sell from here is not crazy market positioning wise. And actually the buys, the sells have worked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. 9 times the sells have worked. The buys, the time it's pushed through this mid-range with continuation, I would consider this 1, this 2, and this 3. So 3 out of 9 times it's rejected from this range. And this is mid-range trading, a lot tougher. But I do respect that we have this higher low, potential higher high. But now we're at the top of the range. So, you know, bias is bias. Last week I tried 3 counter bias and it was a good setup, but slapped me hard in the face. Yeah, I tried 1 counter bias last week and it actually worked. It worked. We also have a 30-minute close. I mean, I think it could be worth maybe a quick break even here. Go break of lowest low. And then if it doesn't push directly and starts to retrace, I know it can still end up playing out, but I need to play the safest option. So if it pushes like this, comes back, I know it has a chance to make a lower high and continue. I will accept missing that to have the safety that it won't do this. Because that could just be the liquidity it needs to continue up bullish. Thank you for being a good human. Don't know what you consider as a good human, but I appreciate the support. I think I just play fair business, right? If I'm gonna devote my time to focus on people to become profitable, I shall be paid for that, and I think that's fair. Because I really do, and the results are great. I mean, a lot of people here are on their way to, and these are not fake fabricated results. You have a lot of people out there who have thousands of members in a group and they trade different strategies, but the guy who owns the group flexes them, passing their challenges and getting payouts from a different strategy. You know? But a lot of these guys are actually passing things with real results. So I'm happy to see that. Five minutes. I'll let go push down, then look for setup 2, try to stick with bias. Yeah, I prefer that, but that looks like an NY setup. I'm just going to wait and see how this candle closes, and then I'm just make a decision. After I make a decision, that's it. I mean, if we have a nice little 5 thunderstorm, could be a shot. If it doesn't do what I want it to do, I'm going to get out. And that's it. Call it a session. Come back for NY. Harry, 100% it's fair business model. Your experience wasn't cheap for you, so charging for knowledge and signal is due some respect and reward. Yeah, I appreciate that. I do think it's fair, because I'm the guy who actually wants to put effort into people. What is the monthly return percentage you got last 6 months? I'm guessing average monthly return, right? Is that your question? Average monthly return? If you're asking average monthly return, these last 2 months put the average down. So it would be probably around 6% now. If you rewind 2 months, it would be 8%. January I did like 9-10%. R. It's not percent, I measure in R. Ricky, you lost again, Ricky? Damn. Every time you come here and you complain about your losses. I have a great idea for you, Ricky. If you can start a signal channel, I will pay you $100 a month and I will inversely copy your signals. I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's just, you know, we're here to make money, so I feel like this would be a good strategy. Hey, it's just business, bro, you know? Here to make money. Thunderstorm on gold would be nice. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of considering that sell. Would be a 30-minute close as well. 1 hour is the only threat, of course, not closing bearish, but we have 15 deep break of structure, close below all the wicks. We have 30-minute closing down. Counter bias, yes, but we just failed all morning to go up. 5-minute time frame is going to create a thunderstorm. So yes, it is going against bias rules. That's why I'm going to be aggressive with management. I really do understand that this price could do this. I get up break even and then it continues down, but I'm happy to miss this move because of the fact that I'm going counter bias. I guess it's a big factor for me. SL back in range, probably you need to put it above that 15. We could get away with SL above the 4 hour if we get a deep top wick, because anyways we're managing aggressive. Whenever we're managing aggressive, we can go small SL because it doesn't matter. Both ways we're getting out break even. You see what I mean? I'm not trying to hold this trade anyways. So actually I could get away with just a stop like that because I'm not trying to hold this trade. If it comes back, I'm done. I'm done. I'm just literally giving it a shot. So if it comes back, it's like, okay, I'm done anyways with it. I can relate, man. I ran a pressure washing company for 5 years before I decided that was not giving me the life I wanted financially at the time. So I sacrificed so much time with my son. Now I'm trying to get him into learning this. Being 17, he wants to become financial analyst. He's super smart, and I'm sure he would do well with this and pick it up fast. Yeah, I'm sure he would. You know, financial analyst is good. He would have to probably do a CFA. He would not probably. He will have to do a CFA. So if he's smart, you know, that's they're not easy CFAs, but I'm sure he'll be able to pass it. Which 4 hour are you talking about? This previous one here? Let's have a look at this, bro. It is below. Just seeing the top wick here, potentially break of low could be an option. Nice range we have to get to break of low, so it has to do a bit of traveling before it breaks the low. There wouldn't be much reason for it to not give a tiny push after break of low, enough for me to manage. Where are you putting SL? Probably just back above the 4 hour here. Yeah, I'll give it a shot if it breaks the low. SL just above the 4 hour. It's about 29 pips here. I think I get away with that because I'm going to just try to manage pretty fast. Give it a pip below the low though, because I don't want it to retest 5 minute, trigger me in. Because be careful about this. It could retest 5 minute, trigger you in with spread and then reject. So just probably if you have spreads that are bouncing around, it would be very, very important to be careful with that, you know. Very, very important to be careful with that because you would get triggered early. So maybe then just market execute. Even if you get triggered a little lower, managing aggressive. Then of course, if it doesn't break the low and it's going to follow a bias then. It's going to follow bias. 65, we have 65 here. Yeah, we do actually. That's well spotted, man. Good job, Toby. So we want a 5 close below 65. Pretty simple. That's it. So actually, I'm not taking that. That's a good spot, actually. You saved me there. So you need a close below this 65 level. Especially going counter bias. We can't really risk saying, hey, this should just push through easily. 1 minute as well. Hopefully it does business in 1 minute, would make our life easier. But let's see how important this 65 has been. Not seeing too much relevance. A little bit of wicks there, a lot of wicks. Five-minute close below would be good since counter bias. Yeah, agreed. DAX is what bias here? 4 hours bearish. Yeah, but I was mixed bias today. Daily. Okay, so we can't forget about DAX sells here, guys. Let's actually be a little bit on the ball here. If this closes below here, because remember daily is bearish here. This could be one big liquidity grab. 28 to get here is 21. Break even there, and then you try get a little bit more of a push. Right? Come on, 5 seconds. Let's see if it can close below. Close that. It's actually on my broker. I need to draw a line. It's looking a little bit... technically it's below on broker, huh? But look at this bottom top wick. Maybe that could be enough for us. Maybe that could be enough for us. I think after this top wick, it's worth a shot. But you know what I'm gonna do? Because on my broker, it's like a double, it's a double low here on my broker, right? I have two lows here, you see? So I'm gonna go break off this lowest low here towards the left. That's what I'm gonna do. So it would look like this on this, but it looks a little bit different on my broker. So that would be how the sell looks here. And that's the sell I'm gonna look for. After this top wick that's been made, I quite like that. If it flips, has no reason. So on broker, it's valid. We also have a 15-minute candle closing bearish. So we have a 15-minute resistance being made. 5-minute now change of structure. 30-minute only close with rejection. So that's the problem there. 1 hour obviously is still bullish, but below resistance. Okay. And that's about it, right? Any zones I'm missing? Nope. Close below there. If we break the low, we're through that. Yeah, okay, fine. Would current 15 stops work? They would, they would. I'm trying to decipher. Obviously, my safe stops are going to be the 28 pip stops. But current stops at 21 is not too bad. I think we can get away with this top wick stops as well. Because once it flips, if it after this type of top wick, there's really not really... It's not really a good sign if it's re-breaking its own high. We just need to check 1 minute structure. Yeah, I think we can get away with this. Yeah, I would accept that. So we'll see. For the majority, it's below, huh? Because if it's not majority, we have a problem. But a lot of people I'm seeing in chat here below, 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 below. So if it's majority below, I feel more confident. If it was only like a couple of us, no. But it seems like majority. Some people it's above, okay. It's interesting. I mean, if this 5 closes above, it invalidates the trade anyways. Looking like it's going to be another deleted order. We just seem to be ping-ponging, boys. Not really giving me that flip, which is keeping us safe again. But it's just boring, right? It's just boring. But it's keeping us safe, you know? And there's nothing we can do except just follow along what price action is doing, right? Price action is just not moving. That's totally fine. It's totally fine if that happens because we're not losing money, right? We're not losing money. It is actually a positive. This is showing how robust rules are. Because without these rules, you're entering randomly. Imagine I entered just on the flip. Because on broker, technically it closed below here, right? So if I just entered on that flip here, right? I deleted my sell stop, by the way. Let me just remove that from here. But if I entered right on the flip, okay, I would have been triggered now. And maybe, okay, I'll be close to break even. But it's not looking good. 5 minute close back in the range, all of this stuff. You added sell stop waiting for the close. I had a sell stop. I deleted it when the 5 minute was closing back in the range. See what gold did after all of this. Gold is now moving back up. Yeah. Anyways, I'm calling it. I'm calling it here. Appreciate you all for showing up. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Welcome back. Time to get back to work. And let's see how the week goes. Only Monday. Nothing to worry about. We have been protected heavily today by following the rules from entering any random setups that could have caused us to lose. And actually a lot of bullshit would have happened if we just followed random setups. Gold sells can still make sense in 4 minutes. 5 minute could end up closing below here in 4 minutes. But I'll probably take that off stream if it happens. I would want to close below here. So keep that in mind. If that happens, I probably might give that a shot in about 3-4 minutes. If it doesn't close below here, I'm probably leaving it. Counter bias as well. I'm probably going to leave it. So, yeah. And it's not like we have a 4-hour candle that's about to close bearish, right? So that's why. So yeah, that's going to be the plan. Appreciate you all for showing up. Hopefully catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day. And speak to you guys hopefully soon. All right, show up tomorrow. Big pips on the way. Let's get it. Much love. Take care. Catch you guys hopefully soon. Peace.